All aboard, it's Jang here with a look at the Playmobil Car Ferry with Pier set. This came out in 2010, this version here, and that means that it's not also available anymore today. I was able to find some of them on Amazon, but these aren't all that common anymore. But I had to pick it up because I found out about it. It's interesting and it's different. Here's just the ferry part of the ferry and pier set, and what's so interesting about this for the most part to me is that the build of it is actually kind of symmetrical. It actually uses the same piece for the left deck extension and height and wall and everything, and for the right. Although they don't look quite the same, but notice where the stairs are here, and then as I turn this back around this side, notice where the stairs are here. The whole thing is just flipped. But this side has the cabin, or the control cab, if you will, the bridge that has the captain in it who's controlling the ship. And then this side has the engine. So some of the smokestacks and things are there. You just imagine that an engine is there, some of the stuff that's related to the engine, maybe generators and things, exhaust comes out. But that's the only major part that's actually changed from one side to the other. So I thought that was really smart, the way that they were able to make this thing be asymmetrical and yet use the exact same major piece that goes the entire length of the whole boat. It's large. It's quite very large. It comes with this scooter here. That's the only vehicle that it comes with. Well, I guess you could count this bicycle. They have a mountain bike. There's actually space for two different bikes to be stored in there to travel along. This has a ramp system. The ramps come down in the front and the back, but you don't normally use those just like this. You can bring it down, but it doesn't come all the way down to the ground completely. It's mostly intended to be used with the pier part, which I'll show you a little bit later on how that works actually with this. It's pretty nice, but the size of this is large enough, it's wide enough and long enough to accommodate multiple vehicles. So I have the Porsche 911 here, which is actually a relatively long car by Playmobil standards. Most of their cars are smaller than that. That fits in there with plenty of space to spare. And this is a little wheel chock here, and this is kind of realistic. You can move it back and forth to set it exactly where you want one of the wheels of a vehicle to be held. And I'm just going to grab another Playmobil vehicle right here, and that's how that's supposed to set right in there, so it keeps it from rolling too far forward. And you see with two vehicles in there, there's still enough room. You know, there's still extra room, and these aren't touching bumper to bumper or anything. I've got this one all the way back, but there's still a little bit of extra room up towards the front. What that means is if you're using just smaller Playmobil, like more common Playmobil vehicles, you might actually be able to squeeze 3 on here, and you can definitely fit some of the larger like pickup trucks and things, you know, so that's nice. They give you plenty of space, and the thing actually does work. It does float on water, even though it kind of has a shallow draft here. It's so wide and so long that it's able to displace enough water that it has the flotation to actually carry vehicles and all of its own weight and still be able to work on water. A couple of handrail sets around the edges so you can have your figures, just your regular people, you know, who are traveling along, be along the side there, and you see I put a couple of them on the other side. All the figures that you see here are included with the set. I'll give you a closer look at those later on. The control cabin section has a little flag on the top, which you can actually take out and use as something in the hand of a minifigure for signaling. There's a little radar bar that can be turned around, and the whole roof comes up to make it easier for you to get your captain in and out. The actual control section of it is really simple though. It just has a big steering wheel, and there's not much else to really see in there. Not even a spot to hold on to a walkie-talkie. So that's pretty simple, but you know, it's enough. It does the job. There are a lot of stickers that come with this set. So you see sticker there, 2 different little gauge stickers, the no smoking sticker right there. Up along this catwalk up on the top, those are 2 different stickers there, and then every single stair on this, on both sides, actually has its own sticker down to the base there. There are stickers on the outside of this thing. These are stickers that you have to apply yourself, and I think they're really important. Most of them are really important for the look, to really give you the sense of detail of the design of the thing. It has some print on it as well, such as these lines that come down the sides, but most of its nicer detail comes from using stickers. And then here is the pier part of the Car Ferry and Pier set. Just has a ramp on this side, so this is the land side where vehicles drive up and drive off. That's the water side over there with the large wooden pilings that are supposed to be, you know, pounded way deep into the seabed, or the shore bed, just to make it really strong. Got a nice flag up here which has printing on both sides. A couple of mooring points. This is an extra rope which helps you to tie the ferry in on this side. There's a point over there as well, and a little spot where a couple of figures can sit on a bench there while they're waiting. Here's how the thing actually works. Your ferry would ferry itself right up into this, and it's kind of a wedge shape in there and just fits in perfectly. Then when you bring your ramp down at either end, obviously you can back it in or you can bring it in forwards like this. Once you bring that in, you bring the ramp down, and now this is a fairly smooth approach. So even the small tires of the little scooter here are able to drive over that pretty easily. So that's pretty nice. And if you use just a regular vehicle like a car or something, then it's super smooth. There's just a slight little bit of bump. So that's very nicely integrated, how that comes right up to the edge. And I think it works out very nicely. And like I said, you've got a couple of mooring points, and you can take this rope right here and kind of route it around there. And there's a little slot on the other side. It takes a little bit of trial and error to get that one just the right length. But fortunately for the other side, you're able to use a winch. So here you can pull some of this line out as a loop at the end that you have to tie yourself. I'll show you how to do that. Bring that around here, connect it to the other point on the outside, and then this can be tightened up. And this is actually really cool. You tighten it up, don't go too far, but tighten it up just enough, and now this is really secure. So you see the boat doesn't want to move away from the dock. So that's pretty nice. There's just a little bit of slack here, but the other side is nice and tight. So it all feels very legitimate and realistic in that way. Also safe. Here's a closer look at the 4 figures that are included with the set. So that's the captain over on the left, and then just 3 random passengers. And as usual, I'm very happy with the variety of figures and styles that they've included with this set. This time especially with colors, so very non-primary colors. This is actually my favorite figure that's included in the set here. I like the combination of the hair and the cap on there. Also, this is a really nice detailed print. So a nice variety here. You know, it just they look believable in a way that's beyond the norm for toys, I would say. They really look like the folks who designed these figures really cared about them, and they weren't just trying to make really toyish things. They were really trying to bring a little bit of personality of real people down into toy form. They just feel like they've been cared for in their design, and I appreciate that. Here's a better look at the scooter included in this set, which mostly relies on prints and not stickers. It has a case on the back, a hard bag that you can actually open up, put very small things in there. See, this was exclusive. This particular version was exclusive to this set because they actually printed the set number on the license plate. But the one sticker that's on this set is right there on the console. So there's actually some print underneath of that, surprisingly. So you don't have to put that sticker on. You can get a slightly different look, but this one just has a little bit more detail. This is a very nice little scooter and has a center stand that can be brought up so you can actually play with it like this, and you can turn the front wheel as well. I really like the detailing that they have on these molds for the front suspension, also a little bit of the engine and the exhaust system coming out there. I think that's my favorite stuff on this one. Lastly, this poster is actually included with the set, which mostly features the set that you got it with, but it's intended to be kind of a little bit of an advertisement for other sets that were also available at the same time. So on the ferry, they've got this car with the water jet ski, water jet kind of thing on a trailer. That's its own set. The cafe set back there, which I actually have. I will be reviewing the catamaran set, which I have previously reviewed. And then the biggest thing here is this harbor police set, which has a bit of a pier of its own, goes around two sides there, kind of has a fork, and then that can be brought over, and it's intended to be brought right up to the edge of the pier of this one, so it kind of connects together and creates a whole waterfront. And then there's the police boat there, and also that very nice small little fishing boat, which is its own set. So that's the car ferry with pier. Again, not so available anymore, but an oddity to collect. You know, it's not a very normal type of craft, although in some communities it's very commonly seen, but it feels like kind of a niche thing. The main negative thing about this set is its size. It's very large, and most of that is most of the time empty space. So to play with it for kids really requires a lot of play space on the floor to really think of scenarios of transporting a vehicle from one body of land to another body of land across a body of water. But for what it is, I think it's designed nicely. I think that it accomplishes all of its main goals, and it just looks nice and looks appropriate for what it is. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please leave a comment if you would like to on the video. Feedback is always appreciated. Thank you for watching. I've got more videos to bring you, so I'll be talking to you again very soon.